How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another indie horror game. I found this on GameJolt, and I saw some YouTubers also play it. I haven't, watched their videos or anything, but I've seen, the name and what they played, and I, wanted to give it a try myself. And on the stream, I actually played this game, and I finished it, but everything was so messy due to OBS and my internet connection messing up, so it started reconnecting and connecting, and it cut away a lot of parts from the game, me reading and, well, basically just gameplay and all that stuff. And I thought, you missed out on some really good parts, and I just decided that I cannot let this game just go to waste. So I decided that I want to play it, even though I've already played it and know everything that happens, but yeah. Let's just begin. Adjust the brightness. I am fine. Here we go. Bedtime. Okay, I can move the mouse out. Bedtime is supposed to be a happy event for a tired child. For me, it was terrifying. While some children might complain about being put to bed before they have finished watching a film or playing their favorite video game. When I was a child, nighttime was something to truly fear. Somewhere in the back of my mind, it still is. This is me. And here we can walk. So, this game is unique, to be honest with you. Full of toys and stuff. A lot of cool stuff happens, Mr. Teddy, and this is very unlike other RPG horror games. Well, this is based off of Creepypasta. It's a wolf. Or it's a wolf. Poster from a movie. I got it from my brother. I've been doing Creepypasta all day. A table. A table and a chair. Nope. Apparently nothing. Wait. It's a bunk bed. I sleep in the top. Okay. It's a wolf. No, nothing on the lights. No. Alright. I cannot prove that what happened to me was objectively real. But I can swear that what I experienced was genuine horror. A fear which in my life, I'm glad to say, has never been equaled. I will relate it to you all now as best I can. Make of it what you will. But I'll be glad to just get it off of my chest. But, I'm still curious, because I'm not sure if this really, is based on something that really happened. Flowers. What am I doing? Flowers. Flowers. Mom put this here. Yes. Okay, maybe she did. A picture of some mountains. This is my brother's room. He told me yesterday to keep out of the room that we both had shared until then. Alright then. Don't go outside. Practice road. Shoes. Not very interesting. This is my father. Dad. Okay, Dad. Don't go pulling out too much stuff now. It's bedtime soon. Alright. I have to record this with OBS, by the way. Now I'm recording, so it should be fine. If it does not, if it's thinking it's streaming, I'm gonna be pretty annoyed. Not very interesting. A picture of a man standing around. I think it's Dad when he was younger. Hopefully this works fine. I can't remember exactly when it started, but my apprehension towards falling asleep seemed to correspond with my being moved into a room of my own. This is my mother. Okay, I'll just check everything. Mom told me not to touch her stuff, especially this stuff. Okay, nothing too interesting. Fine. Nope, nothing interesting. Boxes full of stuff. Ventilation, I think Mom said this is. Just a bunch of clothes in here. A man with a mustache. A man with a mustache. Yeah. How do you like your new room? Soon you'll be sleeping alone for the first time. Yeah. I was 8 years old at the time, and until then I had shared a room, quite happily, with my older brother. As is perfectly understandable for a boy 5 years my senior, my brother eventually wished for a room of his own, and as a result, I was given the room at the back of the house. As my brother was given a new bed, I was given the bunk beds, which we used to share. While I was upset about sleeping on my own, I was excited at the thought of being able to sleep in atop the bunk, which seemed far more adventurous to me. Alright. And here we go to bed. I'm assuming. Well, almost. There my mom is. Alright, it's bedtime. Already? Yes, adults need their sleep, you see. You'll be sleeping alone for the first time. You excited? Yes, Mom. I have a lot of stuff going on in the background, you know. A folder open, OBS, and my facecam software. Alright, I'm turning off the lights. Good night. Good night. Alright. And so we sleep. Chapter 1. Cave. It's kind of disturbing. The story itself is pretty disturbing. Here we go. I deleted the game after the live stream, but I found it again and reinstalled it or downloaded it again, I guess. That is an owl. It looks like a monster standing on the ground just wanting to kill me. Seriously. Well, I guess I got nowhere else to go. A pot and some ragged cloth. What? Okay then. I never did that before. I wonder what's cooking. Me too. That's the windows. A cold, unwelcoming breeze comes from the bottom of the stairs. Go down. There's nothing else we can do. What is this? Weird mushroom. Looks poisonous. Yep. This game is disturbing all alone. Weird mushroom looks poisonous. Again. Purple. A purple mushroom. Definitely poisonous. Yeah, this is freaking me out. Just that freaks me the hell out. You know, nightmares. Oh, Jesus. That didn't even happen when I... Oh, yeah, this one. Ah, I didn't do it. Well... I don't remember how to do this. No, wait. Oh, I did it. Okay. Great. Yeah. There's a red liquid, or there's red liquid seeping out from the mushroom hat. Yep. It is so disturbing. The sounds in this game. God damn you. Ah, Jesus. I'm all alone today, and I'm sitting like in the darkness all alone. My house, you know, is completely empty except 3 cats and me. So I'm sitting here playing scary video games and reading 4 creepypasta stories. And one pretty good one. Okay. I'm playing this game. This is so disturbing! Get away from me! No! Ah! Damn it. Yeah. Mom! I had a bad dream. Mom! Yeah, then I'm screaming. Mr. Teddy. Walk quickly. Feels like I'm live streaming because I know I have OBS up. Mom, I had a bad dream. Sweetie, what's wrong? I had a bad dream. Aw, that's too bad, sweetie. I'll be up in a minute, and we can eat breakfast together. Alright, hurry up. Go change your clothes and I'll be right there. A lot of buttons. Snore. Well. Fine. I mean, this is probably the most interesting thing I played on the live stream, and everything was messed up. And so another day started. It was a day of little importance to our story. I won't bother you with details. The one thing I remember is that even though I played with friends like I always did, I somehow still felt lonely. I didn't enter my new room until later that night. It was time to go to sleep again. Ah, crap. And it's pointing an arrow. Go to bed. Freaking go to bed. And then we go to sleep. I believe there are 7 chapters in this game. Not 100% sure. But it tells a story. It's more like a storytelling than a game itself. That's obvious, it's a Creepypasta. Chapter 2. Labyrinth. This one is pretty difficult. And I thought I was getting close to the end when I was doing this. Save, yes. I used one save for every chapter. I could only save. Yeah, that's right. I gotta take that one. And then take that one. And then I thought so. I wasn't sure about that. And then I take this one, and then I take this one, and then I go down here. Here we go. Not too bad. But I promise the beginning is nothing compared to what happens in the end. Some kind of machinery. Pretty much. This game's disturbing as hell, I just gotta say that. Wanted poster. You know, just the sound in a horror game is extremely important. I mean, leaving that out or leaving that away or just not giving it. Anna Corporation. What's that? Don't know. Don't ask me about it, at least. Yeah, this is it. Ah! Ah, Jesus. Why was this nothing like it? I never got scared in the live stream, so what the hell? Why am I getting scared now? Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. The face keeps coming and coming. Ah! Oh, freaking hell! Fly, get off the screen! Get away! Scared. Get away! Get away! Fine. Ventilation, maybe? The air is still stuffy, though. The air is still stuffy. Oh, that is so creepy. You're so creepy! Ah, jeez. Get away from me. Those those don't really do anything. Instructions on how to use a fire extinguisher. But do I really need that? I don't think at all. I am moving really fast. Why did I get jump scared? Like, there's no point. I get jump scared by things I already know that happens. Seriously. Well, I guess I wasn't thinking clearly. What the heck is it? Swear to God, I know there is another one. Fine. Whatever you want. Ventilation maybe there is still stuff though. Here we go, finally. Poster for some concert that looks old. Yep. Nothing of interest, I think. You can see the face is getting clearer and clearer every time. And there's some music playing in the background as well, that's great. Oh, the signs are getting worse. You can see it, like, it's so disturbing. I don't know what to say. Screw you! Come on. I don't know. There we go. Oh. Come on. It's getting real bad. And disturbing. Here we go. Ah, Jesus. Hi. Yeah, I see that. It is disturbing to hell. Like, what the freaking hell? Oh, yeah. I have goosey bumpsies. You can't exactly see it, though. I don't think I have auto sync or whatever. When you awaken from a deep sleep to something moving or stirring, it can take a few moments for you to truly understand what is happening. The fog of sleep hangs over your eyes and ears, even when lucid. Something was moving. There was no doubt about it. There was no doubt about that. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. Everything was dark, almost pitch black, but there was enough light creeping in from outside to outline that room. Two thoughts appeared in my mind almost simultaneously. The first was that my parents were in bed, because the rest of the house lay both in darkness and silence. The second thought turned to the noise, a noise which had obviously woken me. I'm bad at reading today. That was it. Bedsheets rustling in the dark and someone breathing, as if some disturbed sleeper was attempting to get all too comfortable in the bottom bunk. I lay there in disbelief, thinking that the noise was either my imagination or perhaps just my pet cat finding somewhere comfortable to spend the night. It was then that I noticed my door, shut as it had been as I'd fallen asleep. Perhaps my mom had checked in on me, and the cat had sneaked into my room then. Yes, that must have been it. I turned to face the wall, closing my eyes in the vain hope that I could fall back to sleep. As I moved, the rustling noise from underneath me ceased. I thought that I must have disturbed my cat, but quickly I realized that the visitor in the bottom bunk was much less mundane than my pet trying to sleep, and much more sinister. As if alerted to and disgruntled by my presence, the disturbed sleeper began to toss and turn violently, like a child having a tantrum in their bed. I could hear the sheets twist and turn with increasing ferocity. Fear then gripped me, not like the subtle sense of unease I had experienced earlier, but now potent and terrifying. My heart raced as my eyes panicked. Scanning the almost impenetrable darkness, I let out a cry. As most young boys do, I instinctively shouted on my mother. I could hear something stir on the other side of the house, but as I began to breathe a sigh of relief that my parents were coming to save me, the bunk bed suddenly started to shake violently, as if gripped by an earthquake, scraping against the wall. I could hear the sheets below me, thrashing around as if tormented by malice. I did not want to jump down to safety as I feared the thing in the bottom bunk would reach out and grab me, pulling me into the darkness, so I stayed there, white knuckles clenching on my own blanket like a shroud of protection. The wait seemed like an eternity. What's wrong? Did you have a bad dream? I cried and my mother consoled me. Tears of fear, followed by relief, streamed down my face. Yet, through all of the horror and relief, I did not tell her why I was so upset. I cannot explain it, but it was as though whatever had been in that bunk would return if I even so much as spoke of it. Whether that was the truth, I do not know, but as a child I felt as if that unseen menace remained close, listening. I'm actually thinking of dropping facecam on this one. I'm actually gonna do that. No, I know. I'm gonna do that. No facecam in this one. My mother lay in the empty bunk, promising to stay there until morning. I remember the next day wanting to go anywhere, be anywhere, but in that suffocating room. It was a Saturday, and I played outside, quite happily with my friends. Although our house was not large, we were lucky to have a long, sloping garden in the back. We played there often, as much of it was overgrown, and we could hide in the bushes, climb in a huge sycamore tree which towered above all else, and easily imagine ourselves in the throes of a grand adventure. As fun as it all was, occasionally my eye would turn to that small window in my room, ordinary, slight, and innocuous, yeah. But for me, that thin boundary was a looking glass into a strange cold pocket of dread. Outside, the lush green surroundings of our garden filled with the smiling faces of my friends. Inside, the feeling of something in that room, watching me play, waiting for the night when I would be alone, eagerly filled with hate. It may sound strange to you, but by the time my parents ushered me back into that room for the night, I said nothing. I didn't protest. I didn't even make an excuse as to why I couldn't sleep there. I still felt that this thing would be enraged if I so much as spoke of it. Another night came. So this is sort of a creepypasta storytelling with visuals. But you'll have all the mistakes I make reading, so yeah. Chapter 3 Factorized. So you won't have all, save. This one is a bit disturbing, but very short. I think. No, I'm lying. But yeah. So you can see all the mistakes I made. It's like a one big creepypasta storytelling with visuals that you can see and hear all my mistakes. So yeah, I'm not gonna say anything more about that. Creepypasta day. It's like I make an indie game recording day and creepypasta reading day. I could do that. I mean, I sort of have. It is. Yeah, that wasn't it. I knew it. This was a very difficult one when I first got it. Some kind of machine. I can press spacebar as well. Okay. Oh. Well, lucky freaking me. Alright, so let us go over. Oh. Picture of some kind of green landscape. The picture is in too bad shape to make out any details. Oh yeah. How are... I can't even read that. How are you... I don't freaking know. How are you, maybe. Perhaps. I don't know. Don't ask me! A large fan circulating the stuffy air. Yep. Kind of machinery and stuffy air. Don't know what. Looks like something used to pour out of these. Well, wait. Some kind of altar. Yeah. You can see a pentagram, so that's not a good thing. Really though, that is a bad thing. I hope you know that. I mean, everyone should know that a pentagram is bad news. I hope you can hear me well. If not, then well shite. I'll make a change. You should be able to hear me correctly and perfectly fine, to be honest with you. Can't find where I'm supposed to go. I did this fine ago. Well, it was a while ago. Now it's October the 4th. So, yeah. I guess it's, click that, yeah, I did. I guess it's appropriate for me to upload these kind of creepypasta storytellings, considering it's almost Halloween. Well, it's closing into Halloween, it's not almost Halloween, because it's pretty long. Yeah, that you are disturbing. I don't know where to go next. Freaking hell. Damn it. Why is this so difficult? Is this where I'm supposed to go? I don't think it is. Nope. Not where I'm supposed to go. Perfect. Ah, here we go. Oh, this one. Creepy mask. This is just disturbing. You are gonna make me get no sleep tonight. No sleep tonight. Pfft. Probably. Maybe? Creepy mask, yeah. Now I think something should be open. Well, something is gonna be open, yeah. I've been having a lot of troubles, or a lot of trouble figuring out some audio with my microphone. I've been tweaking and doing random stuff, you know, trying to make background noise go away or not be in or come into the mic too much, but, you know, experimenting with my mic. That's basically what I'm doing, I guess. I'm confused. Where should I go? But yeah, I've been, you know, doing things with my mic. Well, that sounds horrid. Just been making changes, testing different audio, or yeah, different settings for my microphone audio. Okay, here we go. Great. Oh yeah, there's a red liquid pouring out. That's blood, I'm only assuming. Hello. Hi. Stupid. Down should be open. Oh yeah. Down is open now. Oh yeah, this is this. I hate it. You pile of crap. I'm guessing this place is open now? No, I've been here a million times. Well, a million times is a little bit too much, maybe. But I've been here pretty many times. Already been there too, that is nothing. Maybe up here somewhere. Already flipped that switch. There's nothing up there. Maybe something's up here. Yeah. Now downstairs is open. Yeah. Wait, balls. That is the wrong one. But I know the downstairs is open, so don't worry about it. You see now? Pop. Oh crap. And that is the final one. And then it's just back to the altar. This is messed up, I know. It's like... what the hell? Oh no. It's funny how certain words can remain hidden from your mind, no matter how blatant or obvious they are. One word came to me that night, lying there in the darkness, alone, frightened, aware of a rotten change in the atmosphere. A thickening of the air as if something had displaced it. As I heard the first casual twist of the bed sheets below, the first anxious increase of my heartbeat at the realization that something was once again in the bottom bunk. That word, a word which had been sent into exile, filtered up through my consciousness, breaking free of all repression, gasping for air, screaming, etching, and carving itself into my mind. Ghost. As this thought came to me, I noticed that my unwelcome visitor had ceased moving. The bedsheets lay calm and dormant, but they had been replaced by something far more hideous. A slow, rhythmic, rasping breath heaved and escaped from the thing below. I could imagine his chest rising and falling with each sordid, wheezing, and garbled breath. I shuddered, and hoped beyond all hope that it would leave without occurrence. The house lay, as it had the previous night, in a thick blanket of darkness. Silence prevailed, all but for the perverted breath of my, as yet, unseen bunkmate. I lay there terrified. I just wanted this thing to go, to leave me alone. What did it want? Then something unmistakably chilling transpired. It moved. It moved in a way different from before. It threw itself around in the bottom bunk. It seemed unrestrained, without purpose, almost animalistic. For that thing lying there in the darkness, that thing which seemed intent on terrorizing a young boy, calmly and nonchalantly sat up. His labored breathing had become louder. Now only a mattress and a few flimsy wooden slats separated my body from the unearthly breath below. I lay there, my eyes filled with tears. A fear which mere words cannot relate to you or anyone else coursed through my veins. I would not have believed that this fear could have been heightened, but I was so wrong. I imagined what this thing would look like, sitting there listening from below my mattress, hoping to catch the slightest hint that I was awake. Imagination then turned to an unnerving reality. It began to touch the wooden slats which my mattress sat on. It seemed to caress them carefully, running what I imagined to be fingers and hands across the surface of the wood. Then, with great force, it prodded angrily between two slats into the mattress. Even through the padding, it felt as though someone had viciously stuck their fingers into my side. I let out an almighty cry, and the wheezing, shaking, and moving thing in the bunk below replied in kind by violently vibrating the bunk as it had done the night before. Small flakes of paint powdered onto my blanket from the wall as the frame of the bed scraped along it, backwards and forwards. Once again I was bathed in light, and there stood my mother, loving, caring as she always was, with a comforting hug and calming words which eventually subdued my hysteria. Of course, she asked what was wrong, but I could not say, I dared not say. I simply said one word over and over and over again. Nightmare. This pattern of events continued for weeks, if not months. Night after night, I would awaken to the sound of rustling sheets. Each time I would scream so as to not provide this abomination with time to prod and feel for me. With each cry, the bed would shake violently, stopping with the arrival of my mother, who would spend the rest of the night in the bottom bunk, seemingly unaware of the sinister force torturing her son nightly. Along the way, I managed to feign illness a few times, and come up with other less than truthful reasons for sleeping in my parents' bed. But more often than not, I would be alone for the first few hours of each night in that place. The room where the light from outside did not sit right, alone with that thing. With time, you can become desensitized to almost anything, no matter how horrific. I had come to realize that, for whatever reason, this thing could not harm me when my mother was present. I'm sure the same would have been said for my father, but as loving as she was, waking him from sleep was almost impossible. Waking me, on the other hand, was no trouble at all, thanks to the nightmares. Sorry for all the mistakes. Chapter 4, Anger Overlord. Overload. It's like a game mixed in with creepypasta storytelling. That's just me, though. That's only what I feel, you know. A hook hangs from the wall. A piece of meat hangs to dry from it. Okay then. Earthquake. The painted glass depicts some religious man, I guess. Guess so. What is this? The painted glass depicts a scene from the Bible. Okay, move. Okay. Various jars with disgusting stuff inside. Oh god. Another one. This big jar is filled with heads of some sort. Pretty much, yeah. It's a big pool, but I'd rather not use it. Yeah. Looks like a map. Picture that depicts a couple of men standing in front of a car. Okay. Getting away. This is just disturbing. Cats, I believe, hanging from the ceiling. You know, I love animals myself, and the fact that, you know, that's one of the worst things that I can imagine. Animals being, you know, hanged like that, I guess, or tortured. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, this one. This is gonna take a while. It's pretty disturbing, though. But as you can tell, they close faster and faster every time you pass them. And the sounds just get worse, and now they're all closed already. Except, I think, nope. Is it gonna get disturbing now? It is indeed disturbing. Okay. Like, what the hell are they? Demon babies? Ouch. Okay, I can land it. It is... No, actually, it's 5 chapters. My greatest fears were realized in the winter. The days grew short, and the longer nights merely provided this wretch with more opportunities. It was a difficult time for my family. My grandmother, a wonderfully kind and gentle woman, had deteriorated greatly since the death of my grandfather, finally. My mother was trying her best to keep her in the community as long as possible. However, dementia is a cruel and degenerative illness, robbing a person of their memories one day at a time. Soon she recognized none of us, and it became clear that she would need to be moved from her house to a nursing home. Before she could be moved, my grandmother had a particularly difficult few nights, and my mother decided that she would stay with her. As much as I loved my grandmother and felt nothing but anguish at her illness, to this day I feel guilty that my first thoughts were not of her, but of what my nightly visitor may do should it become aware of my mother's absence, her presence being the one thing which I was sure was protecting me from the full horror of this thing's reach. I rushed home from school that day and immediately wrenched the bedsheets and mattress from the lower bunk, removing all of the slats and placing an old desk, a chest of drawers, and some chairs which kept in a cupboard where the bottom bunk used to be. I told my father I was making an office, which he found adorable, but I would be damned if I'd give that thing a place to sleep for one more night. As darkness approached, I lay there knowing my mother was not in the house. I did not know what to do. My only impulse was to sneak into her jewelry box and take a small family crucifix, which I had seen there before. While my family were not very religious, at that age I still believed in God and hoped that somehow this would protect me. Although fearful and anxious, while gripping the crucifix under my pillow tightly in one hand, sleep eventually came, and as I drifted off to dream, I hoped that I would awaken in the morning without incidents. Unfortunately, that night was the most terrifying of all. My parents are home. Didn't know. They said... Oh well, they said... Apparently, well... I wasn't supposed to be home now. That's what I heard all the time. A poster for a play. Oh. A bunch of school books. It says woof. It says woof, okay. Well... Alright then. Ah, crap. I clicked it again. I didn't want to do that. The feeling that something's invading your privacy, even without ill will, is still disturbing. Pretty much. You are good. I don't care to check those, they don't do anything. Even if you don't know why they are here, you hold the greatest amount of fear for them. Okay, pie. A lot of pie. The sounds of screams are awful. They're even worse when they are your own. The newspaper article is too aged to read. Pictures of various butterfly species. This is... okay then. Well. Okay. Wait. What? What does this do? A writing desk with some school material on it. Well... no wait, there was a note there. I think maybe I can read it. I don't know. A writing desk with some school... oh, okay, well... then forget about it. Last door before I go downstairs again. Ah. A pile of mattresses, dirty and worn out. Oh. There's a piece of paper here. It reads knock knock. Oh yeah. Okay. Well. Down we go. Hey. There's a hole in the wall where roots have grown. There are various school rules printed here. Oh god. What are you? Fine. What are they even doing? Ugh. Stop. The lock on the door is broken. I don't think I can get it in here. Okay. Okay then. Sorry if you heard my parents. It's okay, right? Plants grow through cracks in the floor. I came home watching the new Dracula movie. A busted old machine of some sort. Alright then. Oh yeah. Here you just gotta keep going up. Keep going up. Don't stop. For anything. It's like something is following you, but it really isn't. I hope. I have never gotten to know if something's really following me or not, but if there is, I'd like to not know. Let's just keep going up. We'll reach an end. I mean, we gotta reach an end pretty much. Oh yeah. This I never understood. I'll just shut up. It's like he sacrificed himself. You're awfully quiet nowadays. Is there something wrong, son? Nothing. Are you sure? Is there something wrong with your new room? Are you lonely without your brother? No? Alright then. Oh yeah. I woke gradually. The room was once again dark. As my eyes adjusted, I could gradually make out the window and the door, and the walls, some toys on a shelf, and even to this day I shudder to think of it, for there was no noise, no rustling of sheets, no movement at all. The room felt lifeless, lifeless yet not empty. The nightly visitor, that unwelcome, wheezing, hate-filled thing which had terrorized me night after night, was not in the bottom bunk, it was in my bed. I opened my mouth to scream, but nothing came out. Utter terror had shaken the very sound from my voice. I lay motionless. If I could not scream, I did not want to let it know I was awake. I had not yet seen it, I could only feel it. It was obscured under my blanket. I could see its outline, and I could feel its presence, but I dared not look. The weight of it pressed down on top of me, a sensation I will never forget. When I say that hours passed, I do not exaggerate. Laying there motionless in the darkness, I was every bit a scared and frightened young boy. If it had been during the summer months, it would have been light by then. But the grasp of winter is long and unrelenting, and I knew it would be hours before sunrise. A sunrise which I yearned for. I was a timid child by nature, but I reached a breaking point. A moment where I could wait no more, where I could survive under this intimately deviant abomination no longer. Fear can sometimes wear you out, make you threadbare, a shell of nerves, leaving only the slightest trace of you behind. I had to get out of that bed. Then I remembered the crucifix. My hand still lay underneath the pillow, but it was empty. I slowly moved my wrist around to find it, minimizing as best I could the sound and vibrations caused, but it could not be found. I had either knocked it off of the top bunk, or it had, I could not even bear to think of it, been taken from my hand. Without the crucifix, I lost any sense of hope. Even at such a young age, you can be acutely aware of what death is, and intensely frightened of it. I knew I was going to die in that bed if I lay there, dormant, passive, doing nothing. I had to leave that room behind, but how? Should I leap from the bed and hope that I make it to the door? What if it is faster than me? Or should I slowly slip out of that top bunk, hoping to not disturb my uncanny bedfellow? Realizing that it had not stirred when I moved, trying to find the crucifix, I began to have the strangest of thoughts. Chapter 6, The Abyss. 6 or 7 chapters, I believe, yeah. I do think, though, that... Yes, save, please. I think there was 7 chapters, I'm not entirely sure. But, yeah. It might be. The game, you know, just the story and the sound alone, you know, you wouldn't need that much visualizing because, well... You hear everything and you can read everything, and that's enough, to be honest with you. You can go down here. I didn't know this before. And there is my father, apparently. Drain water and remove diving gear, I mean. Dining gear. Okay, great. There we go. Let's go down. Alright then. There's a lot to read here. Trust me. Read logbook. Captain Theodore Fielding, September the 2nd, 2007. One of my biggest fears is deep water. Ironic. When you consider the fact that I am now working on a mining station thousands of feet underwater in the Mariana Trench, I have always wondered why I was afraid, and reached a simple conclusion. The true fear presented here is actually going down beneath the surface into the depths. It's a combination of all of our most common fears. Number 1. Fear of the dark. When you're at the bottom of a body of water, you can't see anything. It's pitch black. Have you ever tried to swim as far down in a lake as you can? It gets really dark and cold really fast, about 10 feet down. But even that's nothing compared to the deepest point on the entire crust of Earth. Or of the Earth, located at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench, which is 38,000 plus feet. If you put Mount Everest at the bottom of the trench, the top of the mountain would still be over a mile below the surface of the ocean. Everything below you is complete darkness, and this definitely plays into our collective fear of the dark. Number 2. Fear of suffocating. Have you ever gotten to the point where you swam down too far in the swimming pool and you seriously considered the fact that you might not make it up or make it back to the top before you ran out of breath? If you've ever been roughhousing as a kid with blankets and pillows and you accidentally got pinned down inside of a sleeping bag or something, and you get to that point where laughter temporarily turns to screaming, you know what a scary concept not being able to breathe is. Even if you have scuba gear with you down in that deep dark abyss, there's a chance a valve could pop out where you could run out of oxygen. You can't see, and you can't really take a deep breath. Could it get worse? Yes. Fear of the unknown. There are over 1 million species of creatures in the ocean, and scientists estimate there are an additional 9 million species yet to be discovered. That means we only even know what 11% of the creatures in the ocean are. Most of the beings in the ocean are things mankind has never even seen or heard of. Who knows what could be down there. Think about a time when you were walking in a dimly lit basement, trying to find something. All of a sudden, something brushes up against the back of your neck. They become airborne, similar to a frightened cat, and instantly turn around and shine their flashlight to see what it was. It's never actually anything scary. But in deep water, it's always something scary. It's dark. You can barely breathe, and something just touched you, and you have no idea where they just went. But there is more to fear, I'm afraid. 4. Fear of flying insects. Imagine that, as you're walking along, all of the beetles and scorpions crawling along the ground, the huge, black, hairy spiders that are hidden from view in the cracks, and the slimy worms and snakes that are burrowed beneath the ground, simultaneously started flying anywhere they wanted. That is what the bottom of the sea without water would be like. For the strange creatures underwater, there is no up or down. Even the manliest men, even though they appear to be calm, quickly tense up and become filled with a secret fear that the bug might land on their eyeball or fly into their mouth. And that's why men try so hard to kill them. Unfortunately, in deep water, you can't see any of the undiscovered freakish flying creatures that rush past your body as you grasp at your suffocating throat. 5. Fear of being caught. Imagine that you're running from a bear. You will be eaten if you're caught, and it doesn't help that bears can run faster sideways than the fastest human can run forward. When you're at the bottom of the sea, everything that is around you was built to move in water. If something truly frightening, like a shark or a giant squid, caught sight of you, you could turn the other way and flail about all you want, but the monster will catch up with you in a split second. You can't get away from anything. Even if you had the wherewithal to see and breathe, you couldn't run from danger. It would simply find you and devour you. There are lots of places that I wouldn't want to be, such as trapped in a burning house or alone in the vacuum of space. But in the burning house, at least I can see, and in space, at least there aren't any creatures that could get me. There are no other places in the universe that combine as many common fears. as 7 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. It is because of the combination of all of these fears that I am so horrified by deep water. Pretty crap. That thing right there. Ugh. And we jumped. And apparently my father is working on some kind of wormhole, I guess. It almost looks like it. What if it was asleep? It hadn't so much as breathed since I had woken up. Perhaps it was resting, believing that it had finally got me. That it was finally in its grasp, or that I was finally in its grasp. Or perhaps it was toying with me. After all, it had been doing just that for countless nights. And now with me under it, pinned against my mattress, with no mother to protect me, maybe it was holding off. Savoring its victory until the last possible moment, like a wild animal savoring its prey. I tried to breathe as shallowly as possible, and mustering every ounce of courage I could. I reached over slowly with my right hand and began to peel the blanket off of me. What I found under those covers almost stopped my heart. I did not see it, but as my hand moved the blanket, it brushed against something. Something smooth and cold. Something which felt unmistakably like a gaunt hand. I held my breath in terror, as I was sure it must now have known that I was awake. Nothing. It did not stir. It felt dead. After a few moments, I placed my hand carefully further down the blanket and felt a thin, poorly formed forearm. My confidence and almost twisted sense of curiosity grew as I moved down further to a disproportionately larger bicep muscle. The arm was outstretched, lying across my chest, with the hand resting on my left shoulder as if it had grabbed me in my sleep. I realized that I would have to move this cadaverous appendage if I even so much as hoped to escape its grasp. For some reason, the feeling of torn, ragged clothing on the shoulder of this nighttime invader stopped me in my tracks. Fear once again swelled in my stomach and in my chest as I recoiled my hand in disgust at the touch of strangled oily hair. I could not bring myself to touch its face, although I wondered to this very day what it would have felt like. Dear God, it moved. It's pretty messed up, yes, I agree. Chapter 7, Hostia. Or Hostia. This is the final chapter. Yes. I'm so tiny. Oh my god. Oh crap. It has no arms. What the hell? Yeah. With instinct, I just went in here. I don't know why, but yeah, I just did. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. Okay, there it is. Okay. The last enemy to be destroyed is death. Alright. I can't do anything with this thing, I remember that. You can just walk further. Yeah, gotta talk to these. At a crossroads in life, what does one do? Stand at the crossroads if you will, but if you'll not choose, I'll move on without you. And having once chosen, never to seek to return to the crossroads of that decision, for even if one chooses wrongly, the choice cannot be unmade. And that is very true. Here we go. See that? And there's nowhere to go, so... Well, there's no way to go other than back. See? It reminds me a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh god. The music. Five Nights at Freddy's. Just a little bit. Not super much or anything. Oh god. Hide behind this. Oh god. Nah. It moved. It was subtle, but its grip on my shoulder and across my body strengthened. No tears came, but God, how I wanted to cry. As its hand and arm slowly coiled around me, my left leg brushed along the cold wall which the bed lay against. Of all that happened to me in that room, this was the strangest. I realized that this clutching, rancid thing which drew great delight from violating a young boy's bed was not entirely on top of me. It was sticking out from the wall, like a spider striking from its lair. Oh god. Suddenly its grip moved from a slow tightening to a sudden squeeze. It pulled and clawed at my clothes as if frightened that the opportunity would soon pass. I fought against it, but its emaciated arm was too strong for me. Its head rose up, writhing and contorting under the blanket. I now realized where it was taking me, into the wall. I fought for my dear life. I cried, and suddenly my voice returned to me, yelling, screaming, but no one came. Then I realized why I was so eager to suddenly strike, why this thing had to have me now. Through my window, that window which seemed to represent so much malice from outside, streaked hope, the first rays of sunshine. I struggled further, knowing that if I could just hold on, it would soon be gone. As I fought for my life, the unearthly parasite shifted, slowly pulling itself up my chest. Its head now poking out from under the blanket, wheezing, coughing, rasping. I do not remember its features, I simply remember its breath against my face, foul and as cold as ice. As the sun broke over the horizon, that dark place, that suffocating room of contempt was washed, bathed in sunlight. I passed out as its scrawny fingers encircled my neck, squeezing the very life from me. I awoke to my father offering to make me some breakfast. A wonderful sight indeed. I had survived the most horrible experience of my life until then, and now. I moved the bed away from the wall, leaving behind the furniture I had believed would stop that thing from taking a bed. Little did I think that it would try to take mine, and me. Weeks passed without incident, yet on one cold, frostbitten night, I awoke to the sound of the furniture where the bunk beds used to be vibrating violently. I lay there sure I could hear a distant wheezing coming from deep within the wall, finally fading into the distance. The following year I was given a larger room on the other side of the house, and my parents took that room as their bedroom. They said I didn't need a large room, just one big enough for a bed and a few things. They lasted 10 days. We moved on the 11th. And that, my people, is It Moves. A game by Snow Owl. Well done, Snow Owl. You did great making this, you know, all of you. Seriously, I will probably read Bedtime as well. Just keep walking. The end. And that's it. That's It Moves. I really thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah, that's It Moves. It's more like a creepypasta storytelling with visuals, like I said a million times, and you could see all my mistakes and hear all my mistakes. Or basically hear all my mistakes. Isn't much seeing mistakes, but yeah. More like gameplay and creepypasta storytelling combined. But yeah, that was It Moves, a really awesome creepypasta game. That was awesome. One of the better indie horror games. Well, I'm not sure this is a horror game though. I don't think it's considered a horror game. I mean, it's a creepypasta, so it's supposed to be creepy. And it definitely was one of the better creepypastas I've heard of, actually. But yeah, that's where I'll leave it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.